Well, good morning, everyone. It's already the end of September. I'm very excited and happy to be here in front of you because I think there's a lot of things, a lot of pressing points, a lot of things that we need to discuss today in today's sales meeting. You know, over the past month and two, I've been really having to deal with quite a bit of sellers that are very concerned about their property not selling or receiving any activity or offers. Had a lot of agents coming up to me regarding pricing their property. What more things can we do to help represent and get our listing activity, you know, revive it, rejuvenate it? And I've also had a lot of people who are considering, for example, property's not selling, it's 100 days on the market. So now they're considering if renting the property might be the next best alternative. I have other issues where buyers are coming in and saying, look, I can't afford the payments, or look, the rates just hiked up. You know, should we cancel or should we, you know, pay these exorbitant fees that some of the lenders have to charge? You know, the ratios are very, very, very thinner right now because of people's not expecting to get really high closing costs or high rates. So I think there's a lot of stuff to discuss and learn in today's class. I hope you guys stick around and stay. But before I start sharing, I'll have our wonderful affiliates go ahead and share. I'm going to go down my list, so no particular order, but I'll go ahead and start with Pam McSweeney, and then I'll go down right here. I Sage Gomez.
Hello, Calvin. Hello, everybody. It's good to see everyone. We're still having the $100 off of the warranty plans for just a couple more days in September. So that's $100 off any plan that you choose. It might be extended. I'm not sure yet, but I will let you know if it is. But if you have any listings and it's not closing for a long time, but you want to just get it in there, just call me and we can get it in before it ends. So Pam with American Home Shield Home Warranty, let's take advantage of that, save some dollars for the seller. And enjoy your day. And thanks for all your support. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for that. Sage, you're up.
Good morning, everyone. Sage Gomez here with my NHG. Just a reminder that you guys are a Crest E&O office. That means that you are able to order a Crest NHG. It's only for Crest E&O offices. So why wouldn't you use it? It allows your seller to have an additional $25,000 in insurance. So why not benefit from that? Also, we included the CAR form, the Fire Hardening Defensible Space Advisory, directly to your NHG report now. So whenever you order a My NHG report, you're going to get that CAR form, the Fire Hardening Defensible Space Advisory, directly included, as well as if you order a Crest NHD. So if you have any questions at all regarding Crest NHG and regarding Fire Hardening Defensible Space Advisory, please don't hesitate to ask me. Sage Gomez with my NHG. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Perfect. And next I got up, I have Unita Wu. Unita. And then we'll do Angie right after that. Unita? Maybe
Good
she's
morning,
on.
everyone. I'm sorry, Calvin. I'm trying to unmute myself.
No problem.
I'm Home Warranty for America, the 13 months home warranty. Please let me know if you need any help. We do speak English, Chinese, Mandarin, and Indonesian. And for the first-time buyers, you know, keep it in mind too that if you do have a home warranty, it's great benefit for them, so then they could take off the cost of those home warranty. It could be really, really expensive, you know, to have for you not to have a home warranty, and later on you have a problem right away within a week. So we're here to help you, and thank you again for your support. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Unita. You too. Have a great day. I have next Angie Tang.
Hi, good morning, CBD Dynasty, Angie Tang, First American Title. Right now, with the market being the way it is, please remember that rely on your resources. We are here as a resource to help you grow your business at this time. There's different ways to look at farming. You can look at the basic ways of farming, but there's also an elevated way to look at farming. And this is where you look at the analytics that we can provide you, where you can look at your competition, what they're doing, really drill into your territory and find out where are the little niches where you can actually expand and grow in terms of getting the return on investment as quickly as possible. These are things that we can help you grow on. Angie Tang, First American Title. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Angie. Might as well get the rest of the Eagles out here. So let's get Brandon and then Sandy next. Brandon, are you there?
I'm here. Thanks, Kelvin. So real quick, thanks for having me, everybody. I know, just like Angie said, it's definitely a more normal market, so making it a little tougher for you guys. So I just want to offer, there's definitely a lot of resources that we have to help you to really expand your network and to really get out there and provide a lot of your clients, past clients, as well as people that you're prospecting with information that's going to sit on their shelf, right? The biggest thing with marketing and really getting out there and farming and trying to provide the community with information is something that's going to sit around and have a shelf life. So I have a lot of great resources that will do just that and help you to really get your name out there. And I know you guys try to be the local area expert, and that's the thing that really sets you apart, knowing the market in your area and knowing that you're going to provide them with information that's going to help them get the most out of their sale, if it's they're listing it, or buyer, that you're helping your buyers. And I had mentioned, I guess last week, a couple weeks ago, we have these buyer's guides. So a couple people have asked me recently, why don't we do the actual report in Spanish or Mandarin? Why do we provide a buyer's guide in that language? And the biggest reason is because not everyone in a transaction speaks Spanish or speaks Mandarin. So the biggest thing is going to help them to understand the report, but you won't have to have an English version and a Spanish version of the report. You'll just have the English version of the report and then have those extra resources for those clients who speak Mandarin or speak Spanish to be able to understand those really difficult words like a liquefaction zone or what words, keywords that may be confusing within the report. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll put my info in the chat, but I'm your resource. I'm here to help you guys out. So have a fantastic day.
Awesome. Thanks for that. All right, Sandy, you're up.
Woohoo! Finishing out the trio of Eagles. Happy, I think, is it still Wednesday, everyone? So 13-month home warranty. We are also tied to your CREST, which is your E&O insurance. There are benefits to the buyers and to the sellers. I mean, the buyer's getting a 13-month warranty. That's fantastic. 1 month extra. That's great. Agents get a benefit from it, and so do your sellers. So always demand on a CREST home warranty, regardless of what side of the transaction you're on. Protect your clients, protect yourselves. If you don't know what that protection is, reach out to me. I'll put my info in chat. A couple more days of warm weather and we're into fall. People, have a great week.
All right. And I have John Wax next, and then I'll do Mark Wu right after that. John?
Thank you, Kelvin. Happy New Year, everyone. It's Jewish New Year. We're in the middle of the Jewish New Year. It's a new time for you guys. You guys should be touching your sphere of influences because those people need assistance. Maybe just consultations. That's where I come in. If you have any questions regarding your NHD, tax, environmental, or the FHDS card form, I'm here for you. 28 years of experience, and that counts for something. We have E&O insurance. We step in the shoes to protect you. So there is no problem regarding our information. We own our own data. A lot of companies buy parts of it. Ours is all owned and put together by our company. The other thing is that we are still in fire season. So make sure when you're going out in properties, bring as much information as possible, including your NHD report. You can order your SNAP NHD reports at time of listing, of course, which I encourage, but I would order them when you go on the listing appointment. That way you know a lot of information, and it can bring information to you that you can ask questions and be able to answer the questions sometimes regarding solar panels or something home energy efficiency, or maybe double end it because you also know what the taxes are and whether it's in one of the hazard zones. But my biggest tip to you is stay hydrated, obviously, because it's hot. But always wear your badges, have cards, pens, appropriate documents with you because you never know where the next deal is coming from. My information will be in the chat, and have a wonderful week. And thanks again, Calvin, and thank you, CB Dynasty.
All right. Thank you, John. We got Mark Wu, and then I have Nicole coming on next.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for allowing me to be part of your meeting. I just want to announce that I did sell my Allstate agency, but I'm still active in the business, can place business with not only that agent, but another broker to give me more market and access for your clients. you see what's happening in Florida. Two things: we don't get hurricanes here, but wind damage is something that is covered here. Flood only if it's a bursted pipe and not surface water. One thing that we can learn from Florida is that you need to be prepared. Here, we need to be prepared for specifically earthquakes. So things go up in price and don't get available. So I would suggest this to be just a public service announcement that if you don't have an emergency bag, you need to have that so that if something were to happen to your house, you have enough food and water to last you a day and some of your medicine, and as well as a couple vital things like batteries, flashlights, and whatnot. Take care. Mark with Allstate. I'm sorry, Mark with AMS Insurance Agency.
Yeah, I knew you still let it slip.
34 years, it's hard to change a
really
habit.
new.
I hear you. All right, I had Nicole after this.
Yes. Good morning, Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title. Thank you for the ability and opportunity to join your meeting this week, Calvin and CB Dynasty family. Opportunity knocks. I know everybody's listening to the news, but there's still opportunity out there for buyers and sellers, and we'd love to help you unlock that door to business to finish out the last quarter strong. Give us a call for resources and tools. I'd love to meet with you one-on-one. Have a fantastic day, Nicole and Yvonne, Fidelity National Title. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nicole, for sharing. I'm gonna have let's have Rick's come on next, and then Joseph, and then we'll finish off with Scott today. So Rick, you're up.
Good morning, everyone. Rick Sanchez, Guaranteed Rate. I specialize working with real estate investors, foreign nationals, and business owners. And I'm actually looking forward to today's class, Kelvin. This is something I've been talking to my clients out there. There's a lot of loan programs, and you will find an approval for your buyer. But I think right now it's more about having a conversation of whether or not they truly can afford to buy a property. One thing that I've been doing with my clients, and I encourage you to do with yours, is look at a rent versus buy analysis and see if it makes sense for them. Sometimes the rate or the points may scare them, but number wise, right? Math, it makes sense to buy. So thanks again for everyone. Looking forward to today's meeting.
Awesome. Okay, and then I have Joseph.
Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Joseph with Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, and we provide you same-day inspection reports, as well as measured floor plans and wall measurements included with our premium and prestige packages. We also provide estimates for your information. And I know we're in a kind of weird spot, as Calvin mentioned earlier, with sellers and buyers. And we also provide pre-listing inspections as well. So something to kind of make you as an agent an expert on the property, everything we can find for the pre-listing inspections. And this will definitely help you save a lot of time and not have a second renegotiation portion for the property. So less time, save you a lot of time and make a lot more money. So yeah, again, my name is Joseph. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Joseph, for that. I appreciate it. I was trying to show a picture of my son who celebrated his 3rd birthday, but I'll get that. I'll get to that in a second.
Happy birthday.
Scott, go on next. Scott.
Hey, everybody. Scott Shimamoto, Journey Mortgage Advisors. So I'm going to talk about how you need to talk to your buyers right now, because rates hit 7 yesterday, which is crazy. A little bit better this morning, but still, it's the rate sounds really high, right? You roll a 7 in Vegas, you're in bad news, right? But right now, I'm telling my clients, I go, look, it's good to get into the house right now, because with the rate being higher, that means less people are going to qualify for the house they're trying to buy, and then they could potentially get a better price on the house. Okay, one of the reasons why the rates are where they are is because the people who invest in these, they do not believe that the rates are going to stay this high. And the way that mortgage works, it takes a lot of time and effort and resources to get the loan approved in the first place and funded. So what they're saying with these rates being like this is they think it's going to go down. So they're like, some of them are charging points, if you can get into a rate with no points, that's what you need to do, because we're probably going to be able to refinance out of this year in the next couple of years. The other piece that you need to talk about your clients too is if let's just say that the difference in rate makes it, say, $200 a month higher of a cost, right? That's $2,400 a year. If the house is 800 grand and it's been averaging going up 3% a year, that's 24 grand a year, right? So if you went and told any investor that it would cost them $2,400 to make 24,000, what do you think they're going to do? They're getting 10 times their money on that. So when you're talking to your clients, it has to be really talking as a business person would talk about it. I would love to talk to your clients about it, get them pre-approved, give them that perspective of, it's business. It's, you got to live there too, but it's also business. So it's a great time to buy right now. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm also on a commercial right now for a company called Clever Care. They're showing it on like Monday Night Football, ESPN, different things. So if you see that commercial, that's me. So Kelvin, thank you for letting us get on this thing. I'm actually going to hang up here because I'm going to go see Sylvia's listing right now.
Okay, great. Thanks for helping her out at her caravan. And I think that ends all the affiliates. So appreciate everyone chiming in and sharing and being with us together today. Anyone else out there? Otherwise, I'll start sharing my slides and getting on to it. Anybody else? All right, sounds good. And yes, I did celebrate with my son his 3rd birthday this last weekend. And I just wanted to start off with, when you're hungry enough and when you're desperate enough and when you're really trying to provide for your family, you always got to remember that I guess when these times of toughness and crisis / recession, and I know a lot of agents aren't as busy as we used to be, I can tell you that there's always a way to thrive and survive. There's always, when there's a crisis, there's opportunity. And we've all heard that in one form or fashion or another, but just telling you, it is a great time to buy. Actually, if you are seeing some of these properties that go under, like I am, you're seeing some of these properties going under contract. I'm seeing the prices being really, really negotiated. I'm seeing some of the terms not being so tough anymore. And it's very, very, it's personally speaking, I helped the buyers this past month get into an escrow. And so this buyer is marginal. This buyer doesn't have the greatest down payments and reserves. Quite honestly, it's a friend of mine, but they have sub 600 FICO scores. So the lenders out there already know that's like a I don't know, and let's just say a not so favorable situation to deal with in getting through underwriting and getting us borrower a loan. But guess what, guys? We're already through. We're already at the midpoint where we almost are ready to sign loan docs in about 10 days or 7 days. And the conditions are almost there. So there are ways to get your buyer, especially someone who's marginal. Those people out there who've always been renting out there, those people who have never had the dream of home ownership within their reach, right now it's at their fingertips. Even if they have a FHA loan program and they can pull together the resources from the family, you have an opportunity here right now that you can achieve home ownership, because you could get into a property if you're actively finding the one seller that will accept you and your terms. And don't forget, you should be putting, if you're representing a buyer that you're not 100% sure that they're going to get that past that get through the underwriting and get the loan, make sure you fulfill and keep your full 17 or even ask for more 21 days of loan contingency. My second piece of advice is to write in the financing terms a cap. Most agents will overlook this section and just say, oh, okay, how much down payment? 20% down, 10%, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But put a cap. Like, let's say if I had my buyer that I just went in escrow in, a cap of 6% or 6.5% with 1 point as my maximum constraint, Scott just mentioned today, it went to 7%. And if that's the quote that I get at the 17-21 day mark of my contingency removal, I have a valid excuse to cancel this contract because they accepted that term and I'm not getting those rates. So those are additional ways to protect your client and give an escape just in case you ever need it, because sometimes you might need to escape. And I've seen a lot of transactions fall out of the market. If you're here in the San Gabriel Valley, I just looked right here in North San Gabriel, we have 10 transactions that fell out of the escrow in the last 10 days. This is through all the brokers I've seen. So there's a lot of stuff going on where buyers can't fulfill and perform. So that's when you can come in and save the day. That's when you maybe might be a backup offer, and now they're going to come to you. And when they come to you, you have leverage in your negotiations. So let's get to my screen. Any questions on anything before I get into it? Okay, so hold on one second. Okay, hopefully you guys see my slide now. The PowerPoint's here.
Yes, see it.
Thank you. All right, so thanks to the affiliates for coming on board. I did want to, and just recently, I get it, I'm late to the game, but I just watched Top Gun this past weekend, Maverick. So today's magical quote is by Pete Maverick Mitchell. You guys know him as Tom Cruise is in Top Gun. And he says to Rooster, trust your instincts. Don't think, just do. And so there's a lot of cool pieces and moments in this movie. I'm sorry if you haven't seen it yet, but it is definitely a great remastery of a sequel to the original Top Gun 30 years later. And this is when now Maverick is a lot more wiser, has a lot more experience. He's credentials and a great reputation. And he's teaching a young kid how to survive, how to come back home, how to really just win in a dogfight. And if you know Top Gun and the theme, a lot of this has to deal with being the best, being able to succeed, because there only could be one winner. And in this trust your instincts, a lot of us have to deal with people every single day. We have to deal with our clients, their questions, their problems, and as well as they're asking for us for help, for guidance. They might be having family problems. They might be having financial issues. They might be going through housing crisis, or like my example, my friend just got served a notice to vacate from their landlord. So I had to help them out quickly. In your situations of the people that you wish to service and help, you need to be able to understand how to consult better, how to be a great listener. And sometimes your instincts are trying to tell you the right thing or the wrong thing. Sometimes even when I took on my client and I said, your FICO scores are this bad, I almost turned him down. I said, it's going to be nearly impossible. And I was just kind of like, I want to help you, but this is a situation where I really need you to get in front of a great lender. And so luckily he did follow my advice. I prepared him for the worst. And in your situations, we just went out and tried. Okay, we didn't think about it. We didn't have time to waste. We didn't go through a lot of, I actually only showed him one property, and that's the first property we got into. So I didn't even have to waste a lot of time, but we just did it. We just went right in. We went balls forward, went straight to the offer. And then I negotiated a hell of a deal for this client under asking. And they happened to have recently just fell out of escrow. Seller's very motivated to go somewhere. And so they took our offer and our price, which is below what even the other listings in the area are asking. So my client's very happy. My client's very, I guess very, just very appreciative, I guess, of finally being able to get this home ownership almost within their fingertips. You need to go out there and talk to your clients. You need to go and share with them that if you think this is a good time to buy, tell them the compelling reasons, and they will, to me, I just telling this to another agent yesterday. She says, I think it's a good time to buy, or should I wait longer? Okay, that's a good question. It was hard to predict. Waiting longer, you can find some deals. Yes, you can find deals in a year from now. You can still find deals today. To me, it's always regarding the supply. And when you look at the supply of listing, that's when you have buyer leverage. If there's a lot of homes available, which there are right now, you just keep trying. You keep trying. Because if you're looking for a deal, then you should be a little bit more open-minded on finding different values. And if you're a little bit more open-minded and broad on where you're searching and adding additional, I guess, easier constraints for your realtor, then you can do a shotgun approach. And I'm seeing the same people, like investors, they're doing that approach, okay? These investors are coming in with a big LLC name and $10 million of reserves and showing it in proof of funds. And you know what they're doing? They're going to every listing that has over 30 days on the market, and they're sending out cash offers, and they're doing it like 50, 100K under that asking price. And then they tell you, we'll remove our contingencies in 1, 2, or 3 days. That's how confident they are. So you tell me that there's no activity going on. There's buyers out there, but they're looking for value. There's sellers out there, but they are dreaming of their price. And so it takes the middleman, it takes the realtor, a great listing consultant, a person who can educate on value alongside with the current environment, the climate that we're at. And the current climate and the Fed is telling us they're going to basically keep asset values and try to push asset values low through quantitative easing. They're trying to deflate this activity. Yes, they're trying to spur a little bit of fighting that inflation via taking out money from tightening the money supply. Okay, so if they're doing that against us, the Zillow just updated their forecast, and I remember at the beginning of the year, you can go back to my meeting regarding the Zillow forecast, the Redfin forecast. And at the beginning of the year, they were announcing a 14% year-over-year increase in real estate home appreciation. And I told them that's crazy. And I even said during that meeting, if you were here, you remember I said, this is the most optimistic view forecasting the next year. And I said, personally speaking, I'm a lot more reserved. I may be more closer to the 3 to 4%. And it turns out that's very more, all of this stuff, this crisis, this terrible market, this activity is slow. None of us should be surprised, because if you were here in this meeting and you were here with me, I already told you it's happening. And I told you when the rates are going up, there's going to be so little activity, it's going to discourage everything. So you guys aren't surprised. This is something that we should have been prepared for. This is something we planned for already. So now is the time for us to shine. Now it's time for us to use our instinct and now convert and adapt to the new environment. Maybe now it's time to go to buyers. It's time to reach out to them and let's go find some values, guys. Let's go get things on sale. Why not? Okay, if they got some decent income, they got some reserves, we can go find specials and deals all day long. Okay, and you don't even have to work that hard now as a buyer. Like I said, I went into one property and I got one showing and I got into one contract already. You don't have to show too many now because there's a lot of desperate, motivated sellers. Okay, so that's my piece of advice for you this morning. I'm going to share and continue on with the screen. Welcome to our company at Temple City. We just signed up Manny Murgia. He is a licensed realtor with another firm, wasn't getting the help and the support he needed, joined us yesterday. So very excited to have him join us. He's a great professional. And if you guys do need it, he's also a foreman at a job site. So he knows construction very well. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy and pleased to see Manny join our firm. I have a lot of great things. I feel he has a great feeling that he's going to have succeed in this next couple of years as he grows in his career in real estate, because you can't use your hands all day long. You can't work and be a blue collar worker. That's why we're here. We're here to work and service clients professionally. We're here to service our clients and teach them through our experience, through our wisdom, through what we're seeing and feeling. And to me, if you're taking that dedicated approach towards being a great realtor, that is why your clients should be using you. because you're not just here to write a contract. Anyone can write a contract. You're here to educate and analyze, provide the rental value, help quote them on finding them the great solutions to their unique situations. So if you want to learn more, if you want to educate your career and your understanding, here's a program and class here on September 29th, Departure, Residence, and Loan Programs. I'm not too sure about this product. I haven't learned about it, but this lender is probably talking about unique loan programs to help them get their new hot property. So you can join there. Smoke and Jack is a charity event. So we're going to have a Smoke and Jack. It's an annual thing with the AAR. And there'll be a silent auction, entertainment, and food as well. CRMLS is having their training on September 30th. And I know Sylvia, I just booked CRMLS to come to our live in person next month. So they'll be teaching us regarding the most common issues and violations, as well as some guidance and teaching us a little bit about the MLS tips. So commercial is also an avenue for you to explore in this downturn, because if you're not getting a lot of sellers or buyers, why not turn into commercial real estate and see that there's a lot of vacancies, a lot of landlords that need some help, and to expand your services and I guess your arsenal tool belt under your belt. You have the ability and the license to do a lot more. Are you really fully utilizing your license and knowing all the aspects of real estate, not just buying, selling, or leasing? There's things here about selling mixed use or understanding how to put together investors and finding a great asset for them, because a lot of people are trying to get away from retail shopping centers and plazas, going into industrial or triple net leases. I'm getting so many people who I just want something triple net, easy management. I don't want to deal with tenants and COVID and all these people who are using excuses and vacancies. And so there's a lot of people out there who are converting and maybe accomplishing a 1031 exchange. So if you don't know the items that I've kind of just shared, or you want to expand, I really hope you can take these classes. Again, for Dynasty agents, you can have access to these private videos. These aren't shared on my drive. The market update. So this is from CAR, and several indicators are released suggesting the economy is kind of slowly moving forward despite the challenges we're facing. And a lot of this is saying that there is a lot of signs of slowing down in terms of GDP. That's correct. But relatively speaking to the rest of the globe, actually, we're okay. Because there's a lot of more worsening financial issues going on in many other countries, Europe, China, Japan, all the stuff. So still US is a good place to be and to invest. So at the same time, we see that the retail sales are rising. There is a market minute, so I'll just go talk about this for a second on the bullet points. And I'm not sure if it pulls up for you. Do you guys see the orange market minute? No, right?
No, just market update.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, John. So this is the weekly market minute, just written a couple of days ago. So the 5th straight increase of the federal funds rate occurred, 75 basis points Wednesday last week. And as Scott mentioned, and as the lenders would tell you, that means that in correlation and in anticipation of this, lenders and the and the cost of borrowing for interest rates have also peaked towards 7%. That's our all-time high right now for the last year or several years. And this is going to be probably not at the end of it. There's probably going to be a few more rate hikes coming. Okay, so how do I use, and the reason why I give you guys this news before I continue to the next bullet point is because I'm giving you and equipping you with the language that you need to consult your clients with in your own form or fashion, or go ahead and play my YouTube video. You can show it to, if you can't even communicate this yourself, or you want to you don't speak their language, or you don't feel good in your English. I don't care what your excuse is, but there's news and bullet points here that the client needs to understand. But my value, my home is worth $1.3 million. My neighbor sold it 3 months ago. I want 1.2 minimum. Okay, sure, 1.2 minimum, but our asking price is 1.4. Okay, sure, seller, but that's a different market 2-3 months ago. We have now an increased rate, and this is the Fed is already communicating openly that they're going to increase it more. Okay, that's going to further damper asset values. And guess what? Your property is an asset. If you keep on holding on to your value, or you don't even want to consider or counter all these other offers, or you think that is too low, that's fine with you, but your asset might become a liability if you need to sell in the next year. Okay, so have that difficult conversation. Don't wait too long, because the longer you wait, the worse it makes your job in selling that price for the for the best you can in this market. You're not getting top dollar, so I don't use that word anymore. Okay, we're not getting that. Now, the mortgage demand, despite sharply higher interest rates, they have seen an uptick in mortgage applications. Okay, and so yes, refinances are down. There's not many people wanting to do that, but you know, yes, there is a lot of buyers out there who still can qualify or still do what's called a FHA purchase, or they have programs out there. I know if you talk to the lenders, they can find rates lower than this. Okay, they can, you know, they have their own channels of warehouse line or connections. So just because it says that openly here doesn't mean that a lender can't get you a better deal there. Okay, because private investors don't necessarily need or institutional money don't need to get whatever that par rate is advertised, or this and this and that. Okay, now the home builder sentiment does dip further, especially in the West where we are at. You see states like Arizona and Arizona, Las Vegas is really soft. Arizona is very soft, and Nevada. So you're seeing a big dip in those areas that don't have a strong economy and a lot of jobs. Here in Los Angeles, we're okay. However, there still is a very negative sentiment regarding the housing market. So yes, everything's less affordable. Yes, inflation is very high, and the savings rate, I guess what you call the ordinary household income, is shrinking as everything becomes more expensive. So that is just, you know, that's the environment we're in. People are not really that incentivized to want to buy, okay, because they have their own monthly fixed expenses, and it's very hard for people to really afford the cost of homeownership right now, especially when you add in tax, property tax, and insurance. Okay, but there are ways to consult and educate them on it's way better than renting. It really all depends. It takes a listening, it takes a consultation. We got to gather what their payments are, what their income is, and get in touch with the lender. But it could be over time, it's true that real estate is very cyclical, and it will appreciate at one point or another. It's just a matter of when. So housing starts, that's really construction and pulling permits. So it does rebound in August, but the permits decline sharply. So people are not pulling new permits, but people are starting to continue or try to finish off working on their existing permits. So we'll see a lot of supply added to our inventory in the near future. You're going to see builders start finalizing and finishing off their final projects. You're going to see them put up some new construction out there, or ADUs. And at the end of the day, a lot of these large, big builders are actually a good resource for you realtors to go out and get some business, because they're giving out and strong incentives, broker cooperation of 3% at many of their at their communities, if you introduce your client and just be there the first day. So go, visit these new projects, and you can negotiate. Even though they advertise a price, they are so concerned and worried that they have been dropping their prices in order to accommodate the worsening economy, because it's better for them to just sell the property at less than what they projected so that they don't hold this property vacant forever. So you have a lot of fear right now going on, and that adds and helps to those buyers out there, but it hurts the sellers because that's going to add to our inventory. When you have the existing inventory, everything that you see on the market today, then you add on some of these new permit builds and finishing projects out that the builders are finishing up. And then you add on to that the people that are going to list and need to move next month and the next 6 months. You're adding a lot more inventory. And that, if you see this inventory really just pour out, that is the greatest time at the point of what I will tell you, the greatest opportunity to buy. You'll find so many more values because now sellers are going to have to compete by going down on their prices just to get an offer. Okay. So that's, if you tell me, when do I find that market? When's the best time to buy? I guess that would be the time, and you'll know it. Okay. You'll know it. And when the big, large banks, if they end up putting out inventory in terms of REO inventory, that's a good time. If you see things going on in terms of what's called either short sales, that would be a good time, but I don't anticipate too many short sales in the next 2 years, maybe a few, but not too many. When you see big firms like what's called Open Door, Zillow, and a lot of these large major people who are kind of fix and flippers, if you see these large institutional like BlackRock and all Blackstone, if they're selling their inventory, that's a good time as well. Okay, because they have a ton of inventory that they're holding off and just acquiring. Now the rent for single family homes, it does grow, so that is a reason why you may want to tell some buyers to come back into the market and let's go find some things on sale, because we can still rent it out at a great rate. We can still get a lot of high return on our monthly rent, and we just got to find the right tenant. And I notice a lot of the rentals that we have are going quickly. Okay. So there's still tons of people because there's not much choices out there to buy. So a lot of these people are renting. And that's it for the market update. Any questions from anybody? No, nothing. Let's go on. Legal update really quickly. This is called the state of emergency expiration of the anti-gauging rental ordinance this is basically that we were not supposed to increase any rents more than 10% during the pandemic. That's about to expire now at the end of September. Some counties may adopt and continue and extend this anti-rent gouging ordinance, but you should always have your clients, if they're trying to overcharge or do a greater than 10% increase of their monthly rents, I suggest they talk to their attorney first and make sure that the area, the city does not have any ordinances against that. Okay, because the worst thing you want is a legal issue with your own tenant. This is something important, the AB 2559. It's called the reusable tenant report. And I'm going to try to pull that up. For some reason, it's not coming up. Here it is. This article is recently signed by Governor Gavin Newsom that tenants who are applying and renting property may use a reusable, meaning recycle and reuse the same screening report standardized. So that way I can tell you because so many renters are applying for 5 different houses, they get denied, they keep trying. Please put yourself in their shoes and understand that it's very annoying for them to going through frustration, disappointment after disappointment, a shut door to another shut door, and then having to go jump through hurdles and hoops every single time a listing agent asks them to do a list of 5, 6 standardized things. And so I guess it is annoying for them. So one thing to help them out Gavin Newsom, is letting them use the same application. So instead of burdening them on refilling out this application time after time again, there's a law now giving renters and landlords the option to use a secure, reusable screening report for multiple rental applications within a 30-day window. Okay, all the standardized forms not here yet. It's just recently adopted, but basically just letting you know that there's an option now to have a standardized format that we'll be able to look at and screen our tenants equally. When I'm speaking towards tenants, I'm just telling you again and a reminder, because this is where you have a lot of liability in your transactions and non-transactions, because you could still be sued for something that you did not even transact with, because a client can, for example, accuse you of discrimination. So if they got refused and refused and refused, I can tell you, a person who gets disappointed and rejection that much will finally get to the point where there's a button that you're pushing. And when finally that button pushes, where they come out and say, I'm being discriminated against, I'm going to go, you might be just the next victim in line that they're going to go out and chase for discriminatory action. And I want to, all you listing agents who do rentals, have the same consistent process for every single applicant. Have instructions. Every applicant will follow these rules, and just put it on a piece of paper and have it in front of your property. If you're interested in applying, here is your instructions. And this is, I give this to every single person who's interested, and this is one way or another. Don't ask specifics or particulars or background, or do you have children? Oh, are you, remember, there are protected classes, not only federally, but in California, we have expanded classes of protection. Race, sex, national origin, religion, familial status, or whether they're single, whether the transgender, or how they identify themselves in terms of their sex. You have not only that, you also have what's called the source of income in California. And that source of income in California is a protected class that you cannot prohibit or deny someone who has, for example, government assistance. Okay, and so that's something that we're going to discuss in the next slide. Handicap is also another one. Let me get my slides up. So here is a guideline that I want to talk to you guys about. And I think I have to make this full screen for me to click through. And I'm going to click through the next one as well. All right, fair housing advertising rules. Because I know you guys heard this in some form or fashion elsewhere. But this is what to say, what not to say. And in terms of when you're putting out advertising, okay, and you're doing whether it's a property or a rental, there are, again, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity as federal protected classes. And in California, I mean, we also have, what's called source of income. Their languages that they speak, immigration status, age, veteran military status. These types of characteristics should not be used against their denial or reasons for not getting the property. I have to remind you, this is a very, very touchy subject. Does discrimination have to be intentional or be problematic? It doesn't have to be intentional. You could have a very naive person, or yourself, or your client landlord, who just doesn't understand what a protected class means. Oh, I didn't know it. That I just don't understand Section 8 vouchers and housing. No, I don't want to take it. Because I don't want to take what I don't understand. That makes sense. But it's our job as a listing agent to educate our landlord that no, just because you're ignorant does not mean excuses you from a complaint. Okay, I'd rather you understand it now I'll tell you, and here's a few articles talking about how Section 8 cannot be used as the reason for denial. Okay, the vouchers. So please just make sure that you use valid reasons like FICO scores, employment. You could do their eviction history slash what's called a screening their landlord. And so I had this question come to me as a broker yesterday, last week. Kelvin, I screened the landlord of the tenant who's applying for my property. The landlord says that there's a dispute. And yes, they paid the rent on time. However, they have an argument over something A, B, and C. And then I have 3 other applicants, but these people seem to have the highest down and the highest FICOs. Should I use them or not? And then the first thing I said is, that's not your choice, okay? And then I questioned the agent. And I says, oh, okay, so you screened them, great, that's awesome. And who screened them? And then this agent said, me. And then I said, so you're making calls to on behalf of the landlord, and you're asking questions to the prior landlord about their history. You know, you could do that. Technically speaking, that's a property manager that could do that. I don't want you to taking on that additional liability by taking the words from the prior landlord, interpreting it, and then relaying it over to your client. Things can get lost in translation, guys and girls. I don't want you to be that person. Why not have your landlord do the screening themselves if they're so concerned about not picking the wrong person? So they can hear for their own ears the truth or lies from a prior landlord, okay? Or the job employer, okay? Because when you become involved in the middle, then now a complaint slash dispute becomes, well, my agent told me that you did this, or you had a problem with that. My agent said this and this and this. And then now it's slander. Now it's defaming someone's credibility. And I don't want you to be involved in that stuff. Okay. And if you guys are following the Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard, you know, that's what's that word? He said, hearsay. Okay. So objection, hearsay. I don't want you to be involved in hearsay. Long story short, my advice and question to this agent regarding consistent processes. Okay, so you screened this tenant. If I was an FHA slash HUD investigator, I'm going to ask you this question. What about your 3 other applications? Number 2, 3, and 4. What was your process like? Did they submit an application? Okay, great. Can I review that? Oh, okay. You told me you screened this tenant and called their landlord. Did you call the landlord for the other 2 applicants, other 3 applicants? And then the agent said no. So you did not have a consistent standardized procedure. So you did additional screening on one person and you didn't screen on these people. Why did you discriminate against these 3 people? Why didn't you screen them? Why didn't you call their landlord? And when I did that, and then this humbled this agent, and then they realized that it could be construed as discrimination when you don't do the same thing for some person and you do it for someone else. Okay. So make sure when you're doing advertising and this and that, don't write anything discriminatory. Don't even give the potential that you're doing anything discriminatory. They're even telling you that when you're putting an advertisement out there and you're using humans, you should even, now we're at the point where I have to put a diverse cast of people in the photos of everything to show that all backgrounds are welcome. You know, we're in California, guys, and there's so many people who just take things very, very delicately, and they're so what you call privileged slash entitled, and I just don't want you to be involved because it's messy. Okay, I'm tired of dealing with a lot of stuff myself as well. So here's another article regarding Section 8. And I just want to understand that there's now studies, because we are actively as a brokerage having a landlord who doesn't understand what Section 8 is. And so I have to get involved. I share some articles. I teach them exactly what this process is. And for those of you who don't know, the government is paying basically up to half of the rent, fixed and guaranteed, for people who are eligible, low income / are staying in compliance with the rules of Section 8. So basically in Northern California, they're already doing investigations for landlords who are discriminatory / not using and taking housing vouchers from Section 8. And basically, long story short, it is illegal to discriminate against tenants who apply because they have this voucher. This is still guaranteed government money. Yes, they're probably doing something to qualify, or low income, or this and this and that. So anyway, this is a protected class, the source of income. And they did find that there are rising cases and studies that people are going to be accused / receiving complaints of these discriminatory acts. And I just don't want you to be learning learn the lessons from others. Okay, there are people right now being investigated in Northern California, landlords. So I just don't want you to fall under their category. Now you know it. Now you understand it. And if you don't, read some articles about it, and that way you can avoid these issues that these landlords are getting in Northern California. We're running late, so I'm going to continue on and move forward. Any questions on anything, guys, before I get into the new listings? Well, like and subscribe to our social media channels. Reminder that we still have a lot of CRMLS requirements and policies on our listings. So don't forget to really just have someone else just double check and review your listings and your descriptions. So our Tammy and Doreen team are back at it again in Ontario. Excited for their new listing here at 2962 Arbor Lane. It's a nice 2,300 plus square foot single family house offered at only $728,000. So talk to them if you have any clients looking to Ontario, which has risen in values recently. Tammy also has a rental for $3,000 per month. And this duplex is in Monrovia with 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,560 square feet. That's reasonable on a nice 13,340 lot. That's actually a pretty reasonable rent. Steve Hang has 1008 Azalea Drive in Alhambra for lease, 1,625 square foot single family, $4,200 per month in Alhambra. And Henry Liu has this one over here in El Mirage, 2650 Sheep Creek Road. This single family offers 3,661 square feet living area. This lot size can't be accurate. It's 1.7 million acres or lot size. That's incredible if it is, for only 628,000. So let me see, Candice or Amy, can you verify the lot size on the MLS? Okay, but 628,000, it sounds like you can get yourself an entire city with that kind of lot size. And Pat has a nice little condo for sale right here in Alhambra, 218 Margarita Avenue, Unit D. 3 beds, 2.5 bath, 1,454 square feet living area condo. So check this one out. If you have anyone looking for an affordable, when can you find Alhambra under 650,000? It's very, very rare. Here you can actually buy your own.
Yeah, 1 to 16 is really good.
Yeah, great area. Margarita is kind of north of Alhambra too, so very, very nice. 14071 Hastings Ranch Lane in Rancho Cucamonga. This 4-bedroom beautiful home has a nice 9,100 square foot lot, 3-car garage, 4 beds, 3 baths, only 980,000. Talk to Henry if you got anyone for Rancho Cucamonga. And Kayla has this nice rental. There's some calls already coming in the phones this week. It just went on the market. 519 Newbie Ave, San Gabriel, Unit E. I think this one's built 2018, I believe. And a 1,740 square foot structure, very reasonable rents for a modern structure. So this should lease quickly. And we have another condo over here. This is 411 Garfield Avenue, number 32. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 721 square feet. If you have any questions on this Monterey Park home, talk to Shanae. And Michael Dang, he's got his listing going on at 1735 Merced Avenue in West Covina. The solar panels are included, 4 beds, 3 baths, and 1840 square feet, just under 900,000. Great area of West Covina. Talk to him on any clients looking over here. And Gilbert and Jessica Andrews, we have 1841 Cimarron Street in Los Angeles. This 5-bedroom, 2 baths has 1.298 million, completely gutted and remodeled inside. So if you check out the photos, nicely remodeled, 2544 square feet living area, very large in a great neighborhood in this area. And they're also partnering on another fix and flip remodel here at 6111 Keniston Avenue in LA. This one's also reasonable and negotiable, 4 beds, 3.5 baths, single family, 1.198, completely gutted and rehabbed as well. And this is Andy Fu. He's got this one for lease over here in Playa del Rey, just south of Venice Beach, walking. Basically, right, your first step outside your property is the bike path where you can basically be walking on the sand and the beach. So you have great access, very, very rare opportunity to get a beachside condominium. You could rent it. You could also buy it, 2 beds, 2.5 baths, 1571 square feet. 10532 Danes Ave is going to be off market, so don't even worry about this one. 420 Grand Avenue, San Gabriel is receiving some activity, and technically I know there's offers in, it's still available. There's countered offers already out, and there's a new asking price. So if you look at the MLS, Michael Reynoso has this one advertised at a very attractive $785,000 asking price, or $775,000 or $785,000. And our closers, Nancy Liu and Michael Liu both closed right here, $865,000 for this San Gabriel property, 6,900 lot, 1130 square feet in Palm Avenue. Congrats. G. Lynn also has a closing at 127 Lemon Avenue. This one just leased out, I'm sorry, $3,500 per month. Wow, 20,000, nice lot size. Kevin Kahn sold this building house over here, 206 Leland Avenue, West Covina, $689,000 for a near 8,000 lot. Good job, Kevin. And Michael also closed out for 1.22 million. This is Green Street in Temple City, 4 beds, 3.5 baths, huge 2,700 plus square footage. What a great value at 1.22 million. And Tani, 4929 Glickman Ave, Temple City. She sold this condo, $935,000. Very beautiful property here in Glickman, Temple City. Can't believe they're selling for 900s right now. We had a whole bunch of them selling brand new 900s just 2 years ago. And Sam Chow had 1234 Wilshire in Los Angeles. This one closed, 960 square foot condo in downtown LA. Sylvia closed this huge, near 9 acres lot at $35,000 in Phelan. Helen Ma leased this property out in West Covina. This is $3,500 per month, 619 Leaf Avenue. Sylvia also closed 1215 San Gabriel in Azusa. This is a condominium unit for sale, only 817 square feet. Got a good value on that one. And Kayla also leased out this 209 Encinitas Avenue, Monrovia last week. This one's already gone. She's been on fire. She has quite a bit of rentals as well right now. And this 10226 Chaparral Way, number G in Rancho got leased out recently. Sherry did. A lot of you guys are doing leasing. I mean, I know you guys are not, I guess a lot of landlords are not wanting to get and sell and get that value that they're looking for. So we are doing a lot more leasing right now, guys. So just make sure, you sharpen up and polish your skill sets. Be very, very fair to everybody when you're leasing out. Because I know that's going to be another source of your income now, because sales aren't happening right now. There's not a lot of activity. So Ling and Julia partnered up on this, and 10510 Freer Street in Temple City just leased out. Great job, ladies. Sam just closed over here next to our Linden Walk area, 56 Linden Lane. The single family just closed escrow. I think they worked this one out dual agency. And Annis, this one closed for lease, 56 Doherty Road in Arcadia. This is a mixed use property, great location here in Doherty Road. Helen did an amazing job. She closed 1855 Fern Avenue in Ontario. This is a 2-unit structure, 920,000 for her. Great purchase. Manny Aquino closed on this 475,000 single family in Los Angeles, 3418 8th Street. Great job, Manny. And Angel, she got her condo closed in Montebello, 213 Maple Avenue, number A in North Montebello area, 1942 square feet for 647,000 for a condo in Montebello. Wow. Daniel Wong got 11827 Basie Street for his client. He purchased this 820,000, large lot, nice property. And did I miss anything else? This information is not correct, says Ling on her transaction. So I can look it up in the MLS for Ling.
Sorry, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this Julia's work. I have nothing to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, this is just internally. I know Julia did the primary all the work on this one involved. Okay. Thanks, Ling.
Thank you.
Good to see you here. Any questions or need anyone else any advice or guidance that you guys want me to help you with this week? What's on pressing? What's on your mind? What have you been challenged with when you're talking to your clients? Otherwise, I'll assume you're not talking to your clients. You're scared to talk to them. Is that true? Shame on you. Okay. Well, if that's the case, otherwise you have the tools, you have the scripts, you know what to say, then you're happy with where you're at. Otherwise, I wish to see you at next sales meeting and trainings again. Thank you again, everyone, for staying on and being with me today and with our company. I have personalized advice or guidance. Just give me a call. You know I'm accessible, guys.
Thank you, Calvin. Great information, great meeting. As always, reach out if you have any questions. I'm here for you. Thank you.
Thank you.